A rocket taller than the Statue of Liberty ignites, its engines roaring with the force of a small sun. A cherry-red car floats silently in the blackness of space, a dummy named Starman at the wheel. Up above, thousands of satellites form a string of pearls across the night sky, beaming internet to the world's most remote corners. This is the world of Elon Musk, a world of absolutely staggering, almost unbelievable achievements, a world built on a fortune so vast it's hard to wrap your head around. And it all started with a $28,000 bet. Now, this isn't a story about some titan of industry who was destined for greatness. It's a story about a young immigrant who showed up at Stanford for a prestigious PhD program and dropped out after 2 days. It's a story about sleeping on an office floor, showering at the YMCA, and being fired from his own companies. It's about being weeks, sometimes just days away from total bankruptcy and betting everything he had, not once, but over and over again. This is the story of how a single, desperate $28,000 bet made by a father on his sons became the seed that grew a multi-billion-dollar empire and changed our world forever. The year is 1995. The internet is this strange new frontier, a digital Wild West that most people thought was just a passing fad. While almost everyone saw a novelty, two brothers from South Africa, Elon and Kimball Musk, saw the future. Elon, having already earned 2 bachelor's degrees, had just dropped out of his Stanford physics PhD program after only 2 days. His brother Kimball had just graduated with a business degree from Queen's University. Elon had an idea. In a time of clunky paper phone books, he envisioned an online directory, a digital yellow pages with maps that could guide you right to a business's front door. It was a brilliant concept, but they had one tiny problem. They were broke. So they made a call to their father, an engineer back in South Africa, who agreed to give them $28,000. It wasn't a fortune, but it was a start. That $28,000 was the bet, the spark. With that cash, they rented a tiny bare-bones office in Palo Alto, bought some basic equipment, and got to work. They called their new company Zip2. For the first 3 months, that tiny office wasn't just their headquarters, it was their home. They had one computer. Elon would code relentlessly through the night, literally building the software from scratch, and then crash on a small sofa. By day, Kimball would hit the pavement, trying to sell their vision to skeptical small business owners who barely even knew what the internet was. They showered at the local YMCA and lived off cheap food, pouring every ounce of energy and every last penny into keeping the dream from dying. The early days were a brutal, soul-crushing grind. The sales team would come back empty-handed day after day. Most businesses just didn't get it. Why would they possibly need a listing on this new internet thing? But Elon's relentless drive was infectious. He was always coding, always improving the product. In a move that would define his career, he even managed to get digital map data from a company called Navtech for free, simply by being bold enough to just ask for it. Slowly, very slowly, the tide began to turn. In early 1996, a venture capital firm saw the potential in what the brothers were building and invested $3 million. Suddenly, Zip2 wasn't just 2 guys in a room anymore. It was a real company. They were landing contracts with major newspapers, and for a minute, it looked like the bet was paying off big time. But with venture capital came new bosses and new problems. The investors, wanting more experienced leadership, brought in a new CEO, and Elon was pushed aside. His role in the company he'd built with his own 2 hands was shrinking. Then, in 1999, the computer manufacturer Compaq came knocking with an offer to buy Zip2 for $307 million. The board jumped at it. At just 27 years old, Elon Musk walked away with $22 million. For most people, that's the happy ending. For Musk, it was just the end of Chapter 1, a frustrating lesson in what it feels like to lose control. With his newfound millions, Musk didn't buy a yacht or an island. He immediately poured $12 million of it into his next, even crazier venture, X.com. His goal? To completely revolutionize the entire banking industry. X.com was one of the first online banks, and he was burning through cash at an alarming rate, locked in a fierce battle with a rival startup called Confinity, which had a popular little product you might have heard of, PayPal. The two companies were spending millions trying to crush each other, a clear path to mutual destruction. So, in March of 2000, they did the logical thing. They merged. But the drama was far from over. A nasty power struggle erupted over the company's branding and technical direction. And while Elon was away on his honeymoon, the board held a vote. They ousted him as CEO and replaced him with Peter Thiel, fired from his own company. Again. And yet, just like with Zip2, Musk kept his shares and remained the largest shareholder. When eBay bought PayPal in 2002, he walked away with roughly $180 million after taxes. He'd been kicked out twice, and each failure had only made him wealthier and more determined. Now he finally had the capital to chase dreams that were literally out of this world. Armed with his PayPal fortune, Musk doubled down. He made two of the riskiest and insane bets in business history. He sank $100 million of his own money to found SpaceX in 2002 with the absolutely bonkers goal of making humanity a multi-planetary species. He also invested over $6 million to become the chairman and largest shareholder of a tiny, struggling electric car startup called Tesla. He was chasing two impossible dreams at once, and for years it looked like both were destined to fail catastrophically. The period around 2008 was, in Musk's own words, the worst year of his life. SpaceX had tried to launch its first rocket, the Falcon 1, 3 times. All 3 launches had ended in spectacular fireballs, nearly bankrupting the company. He had just enough money left for one more launch. A fourth failure would be the end. Meanwhile, Tesla was teetering on the brink of collapse. The 2008 financial crisis was raging, investors were gone, and the company was hemorrhaging cash. Payroll was due, and Musk was personally borrowing money just to keep the lights on. He faced a horrible choice: split his remaining funds between the two companies and likely watch both of them die, or save one and sacrifice the other. He chose to bet on both. In a moment that feels ripped straight out of a movie, everything changed. On September 28, 2008, SpaceX launched its fourth Falcon 1 rocket. It soared into the sky, and this time it didn't explode. It successfully reached orbit, proving its technology worked. Then, just a few months later, on Christmas Eve, with Tesla literally days from going bankrupt, 2 miracles happened. First, Tesla's investors narrowly agreed to a last-ditch financing round. Then, NASA called. Blown away by the success of the fourth launch, they awarded SpaceX a massive $1.6 billion contract to resupply the International Space Station. NASA saved him. That contract and that last-minute investment pulled both companies back from the abyss. The ultimate bet, risking his entire fortune on 2 seemingly failed companies, had paid off in the most dramatic way imaginable. From that moment of near total ruin, the story has been almost vertical. SpaceX has become the dominant force in space, launching reusable rockets and deploying a global satellite internet network. As of early 2026, the company is expected to pursue what could be the largest IPO in history, with a staggering target valuation of $1.5 trillion. Tesla survived its production hell to become the world's most valuable automaker, with a market cap that hovers around $1.45 trillion. And the ambition hasn't stopped. With Neuralink, he's creating brain-computer interfaces, and the company plans to start mass-producing its chips in 2026. With The Boring Company, he's digging tunnels to solve traffic. And with his acquisition of Twitter, now X, he's chasing that old dream from X.com, creating the Everything app. The story of Elon Musk is a relentless cycle of risk, near failure, and unbelievable triumph. It's a testament to the power of a singular vision, backed by an almost inhuman tolerance for risk. Looking back, it all seems so inevitable now, but it was never guaranteed. It all began with 2 brothers in a tiny office, fueled by a wild dream and a single world-changing bet of just $28,000. If you found this story of crazy risks and even crazier rewards inspiring, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell for more stories about the world's boldest innovators. Let us know in the comments, which part of Musk's journey do you find the most incredible? Thanks for watching.